tonight, if Allah gives us tawfiq, I would like to discuss about the power of connection. What is the power of connection? There are some articles, not many, written about the power of connection, or some connections, they add the S to it. Mainly from a business perspective. They talk about it from a business perspective. So in 2012, there was an article written in the Huffington Post newspaper, and that one was written by a bishop. His name is Edgar Vann, V-A-N-N. He talks about the power of connections. What does he define connections as? He says the power of connections is about building relationships. The power of connections is about networking to lead. So these are definitions he gives of the power of connections. Building relationships and what? Networking to lead. These are the two definitions he gives of the power of connections. How to connect to people. In another article that was published just last year in February in Forbes magazine. Guys, have you heard of Forbes magazine? Yeah, inshallah. That's good. If you haven't, just go read about it. Okay. Forbes magazine. In Forbes magazine, a lady who is a consultant. She's a leadership consultant. Her name is Clara Capona. C-A-P-O-N-A. She talked about the power of connection, again, from a business perspective. She writes, when it comes to business, long-term partners and clients bring us sustainability and growth. So you want to have long-term clients and partners because that brings you sustainability and growth. Part of delivering value and quality product is also building relationships. You want to build relationships. So again, it's about building relationships. But she says, from a business perspective, how can you build relationships? She says that, it's good to have face-to-face meetings. Although this was just before the pandemic. This was in February of 2020. So the pandemic had just not yet begun. Today it's become like a norm of having virtual meetings. But she says face-to-face meetings are really important. If not face-to-face, she says video, which is most people nowadays, mashallah, even at schools and education, and a lot of things are happening virtually these days. If not video, she says calling, at least phone call. And then she says social media. But she says social media, not about yourself, but rather about being connected to others. So you try to build a relationship with people. Now, interestingly, she says, when it comes to communication, it boils down to three things. She says three things. Communication really breaks down into three areas. The written word, tone/tempo, your tone, and body language. These are the three criteria or essences of communication, she says. So they talk about connections or the power of connection in terms of business, relationship with clients, customers, etc., etc. I want to take it a step further. I want to talk about it in terms of the family. It's important to have a relationship within the family. And that's something we tend to forget sometimes because life is so busy. Life is busy these days. Especially sometimes you have families where both the husband and the wife, the mother and the father are working. So sometimes when that happens, a gap starts to form. A gap of lack of communication. Not much talking is happening. Yes, they see each other in the morning, salamun alaikum, alaikum salam, and each one is rushing with their coffee mugs and run outside. Okay. And then they come in the evening, he's tired, she's tired. They don't have much time to spend with the children. Yes, salamun alaikum, alaikum salam. Their child might come to them and says, Dad, I want to talk to you. Oh, son, I'm just so exhausted. Today has been just a hectic day at work. Mom, I would like to speak to you. No, sorry. Can we do that tomorrow? Okay. Now, tomorrow comes and again, you're busy. And tomorrow comes and you're busy. So then, unfortunately, that child is going to give up. And he's not going to come to you anymore. So therefore, today I would like to discuss with you something that I call the RIDE approach to raising children and developing family connections. R-I-D-E. The R is for relationships. Try to develop a relationship with your children, with the family. Develop a relationship. The I is for initiatives. What do I mean by initiatives? Initiate family-oriented programs. R-I, the D. Okay, the D is devotion. Devotion means teach them religion. Teach them religion. Sometimes I see parents, for example, the parents come to the mosque, but the children are at home playing games. And the final E is for education. Educate your children. Educate them about different purposes, different things. For example, academic education. Encourage them to go to university and study. That's good. This is what we call the RIDE approach. Relationship, initiative, devotion, religion, making them devoted, and E is for education. Educate them, train them, and always make them love Ahlul Bayt. When you that devotion part. May Allah bless you. I love to see these kids here. I really love it. Are you guys happy to be here? You sure? You're happy to be here? Awesome. Yeah, you're good people. Even though I can't see you smiling, but I can feel it. Yeah. Because it's nice. I see these kids here. It's really inspirational. When these kids, are you guys happy to be here? Yeah. Thumbs up? Yeah, excellent. Yeah. So, it's good. Johnny, are you good? Yeah, awesome. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go now one by one here. It's like, So, it's great because you're teaching them, let's come to mosque together. You're developing that relationship. You're teaching them together. That's fantastic. Fantastic. So, I know sometimes kids run around. To be honest with you, I love it. Because they're here at the mosque. They're the guest of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, just like you're the guest of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. They're the guest. Doesn't mean you start running around, boys? Okay? Okay? No, that doesn't mean. So this is how we can try to develop that relationship. And this way, when you talk to your children all the time, you develop that relationship with them, they start learning to speak to you. So when they become teenagers, and they start going through some problems in their lives, bullying, God forbid, start having questions, doubts, because you've developed that relationship, they come to you all the time. It's not that you just start to come to develop that. You've already built that bond. You've already built that bridge.